I am Nikarasu with the Paparasu, and if you saw the thumbnail, then you read it right. Safi is objectively worse than Jefferson. There should be no debate about it. In this video, I'll be going over just how bad Safi and her plan is, as well as explain why it's bad for Max to agree with Safi's plan. Now, this isn't about whether players side with her or not, it's about Max and the narrative siding with her. Players can do whatever they want, it's their game, so if you want to side with Safi, go ahead. I'm not going to blame or criticize you whatsoever. This video is just about focusing on a narrative aspect of it. I got a whole video going over why I believe Double Exposure is the worst in the series and is still terrible, so if you want to check that video out, you're more than welcome to. This video here is just only going to focus on Safi. Now, as for regarding Safi, I didn't think she was a bad character at first. At least in the beginning of Double Exposure. At first I thought she was just a decent character, but then it went downhill. I didn't take any issue when it was revealed that Safi also had powers of her own. In fact, I thought they could do something interesting with this. Something interesting with both Max and Safi. And it did seem that way at first. It seemed like Max was going to try to be a mentor to Safi. And teach her the lesson that not only can their powers be dangerous, but it won't always give them their way. And based on Max's past and experience, that seemed like a fine lesson for her to teach someone with powers. And the very person that was an anchor for her. After they find out about each other's powers, they have a conversation about it. Of course, that's not all they talk about. Safi explains that she has the power to shapeshift into anyone she wants, just as long as she's met them. We even learned that Safi was using her powers to get back at Gwen and Lucas. She turns into Gwen to sell student drugs and get her fired from her job. She turns into Lucas and ruin his relationship with his son. And while it seems she didn't feel all that bad for what she did to Lucas' son, she does say she refused to use her powers to turn into Moses, saying that he's off limits, partly because he's a great friend to her who supports her and has done nothing wrong to her. So she likely didn't want to get Moses to get dragged into a revenge plan. As the conversation continues on, Max eventually brings up about her past, about Rewind and how they put thousands of lives in danger. And here, Safi is empathetic towards Max.
Way too much responsibility.
Control Zing your way through adolescence? Literally the worst years of life? That's not a responsibility, that's a dream.
Until it isn't. And then your whole life is a nightmare.
All right, so you used to time travel, and now you can switch timelines? What changed?
You know that blue-haired girl? That was my fault. She died. Shot and bleeding out on the floor of our high school bathroom. All alone. All alone except for me. The one person who could have helped her. Stuck powerless behind a stall a few feet away.
Shit, Max. I saw the article in your memories box. You can't blame yourself for...
I can't. My powers created a storm. Literally, I mean. And I had a choice. Save my town or save her. I chose Arcadia Bay.
Now I'm gonna give Safi a hard time for being immature about it at first, because she didn't know any better. She was completely ignorant. Based on her experience with her powers, she would have no way of knowing that powers can prove to be dangerous. So there's no way that she would know that Max is responsible for creating a storm, especially if she went back in time and prevented the storm from happening. So I'm not gonna criticize her here for being immature, especially when she shows empathy towards Max, trying to say that it wasn't her fault. She had dropped her immature attitude and was serious here. Until...
Gwen, Lucas, Ben, your revenge tour.
with my justice tour.
Safi, what if that justice tour goes wrong? What if it spirals out of control? What if eventually it's the reason
What? This photo? That I don't remember taking? Dude, do you even own a gun?
No, but
Great. Don't buy a gun. Problem solved.
I don't understand how you can be so chill about this.
I don't understand how you could be such a bummer about it. Max, we have fucking superpowers. You keep talking like you're cursed, but you're not. You're in control. You and me, we're more in control than most people.
So even after Max shares her history with Safi, as well as bringing up a very valid and possible scenario happening, Safi decides to be immature about it and not take it seriously. Now this isn't too bad and not the worst part of it, as she does try to tell Max that she shouldn't feel cursed, but she just doesn't take this seriously even though there's valid concerns. Safi should be taking this more seriously, especially after what she heard from Max. As it turned out, Max's concerns come true. Safi's powers end up going out of control. Her powers, along with Max, end up putting everyone in Caledon in danger. At first, Safi does take this seriously, which is good. Max and Safi go into the storm together to save everyone in Caledon. Eventually, Safi says this.
I'm glad you were here too. You know. But I just tore everybody apart into tiny little pieces.
They'll forgive you.
Will they forgive me? Maybe I don't forgive them.
Safi's immaturity shows again. Being angry at her mother and everyone else is the reason why her powers went out of control and put everyone else in danger. People that were innocent were put in harm's way because of this. Yet she doesn't have the maturity to see that and let go of her anger. Instead, she just goes on to say this.
You're way stronger than I ever was.
Don't say that about yourself. You have it wrong. People like you and me, we don't belong at some B-tier liberal arts university with a bunch of washed-up bloggers ready to knife each other for tenure. We're fucking divine.
Come on.
I'm serious. The shit that we can do, gods can do that stuff.
Well, that's one way to apologize to all the innocent people that were put in danger because of your powers. In all seriousness though, she just let her immaturity and ego get to her head, which led to her having a god complex. She's more concerned about that than what she did to innocent people. Oh, but it gets worse.
Safi, stop it. It's real? I wasn't hallucinating? What are you? And what did you do with my daughter?
You can make her forget she saw that, right? Better yet, you could make me unshoot her. You have an instant undo button on life, Max. Why not use it?
As you hear, Safi is encouraging Max to use Rewind, a power that can create a storm and put thousands of lives in danger. Max already told Safi about her past and witnessed firsthand what their powers can do. The damage that they can do is, since she already knows this, ignorance is not going to work this time. She's encouraging Max to put innocent people in danger. Innocent people like Amanda, Diamond, Reggie, and even Moses. Moses, who's been nothing but a good friend to Safi. He was supporting her the whole time and even helped her and Max expose Lucas. And she doesn't care about his safety?
I'm going to find other people like us. People with powers. I spent my whole life thinking I was the only one. Knowing I could never tell anyone because they would look at me like that. But now there's you. You and me. time traveler and a shapeshifter. Imagine what we could do. And who cares if I'm a silly little girl whose mom needs to show her how the world works? Because now, it works however I want it to. When I come back, are you going to stay with me, Max?
This is something that would put billions of lives in danger. And the only reason why Safi wants to do this is based on her ego and immaturity. Max agreeing with Safi means she's spitting on the graves of Chloe or the people of Arcadia Bay.
You could use that photo to change everything right back to when you took that picture. All that would take is for me to... I'm so selfish. Not like my mom. Look what she had to give up and live through. And she did. She deserves so much more than to be killed by a storm in a fucking diner. Even my stepfather deserves her alive. There's so many more people in Arcadia Bay who should live. Way more than me.
Despite her crying and wanting to live, she was willing to be sacrificed if it meant 1,000 people could live. Chloe didn't offer herself to be sacrificed just so Max would end up making the same mistake again and making it worse. Why would she want to increase the body bags from 1,000 to 1 billion? If she alone was able to create a storm that put 1,000 lives in danger, imagine what a whole army could do. Billions of lives would be in danger, and Max wouldn't ever agree to something like this. This is something that the Joker and Homelander would agree to. The Joker would be in it for the chaos that would come from this. Homelander would be on board with the goal, but would want them to view him as the superior one. I can also see Homelander killing Safi and every other person with powers just so he can have no equals. And if that's not bad enough, Light Yagami would kill Safi for this. He may have a god complex like Safi and Homelander, but he definitely wouldn't agree to a plan like this. This is the same guy who killed someone who he believed to be a detective, all because he called them evil, and as a result, he laughed about it. The same guy who killed Ray Pember and all the other FBI agents that were after him. FBI agents that weren't corrupt or anything, they were just chasing after a criminal. This was the guy that was messed up enough to do this.
What's the matter?
There's something I have to do.
My father's cell phone might be available now. Do you want to see if you can talk to him?
No, thank you. I have nothing to say to him.
Then goodbye, Naomi Misora.
The fact that Light would be in the right to kill Safi for this and would be the lesser of two evils is crazy. That's how you know you're doing something wrong. Another thing to think about is Light would also be in the right to kill Max for agreeing to this plan. I mean, even if she didn't, Light would still kill her either way, but he'd be right to kill her for this. Which goes to show how horribly written this is in Double Exposure. Jefferson may have kidnapped and killed dozens of girls in the basement, but that's nothing compared to putting the entire world at risk. Jefferson wanted to capture a moment, but Safi wants to capture the world, with Max and their army by their side, not caring about there being casualties. Safi's made it clear what her plan is and doesn't care whether billions of people would die or not. Now, seeing as how Safi hasn't done any of this yet, there could be a chance at a reunion that she changes from this. That is a possibility, but we don't know yet since the game hasn't come out yet. Now that's about everything I wanted to say in this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you have any thoughts you want to share, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. If you're new to my channel, feel free to check out my other videos, shorts, posts, and subscribe if you haven't already.